Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Friends, we have another classic Sci-Friday in store for us today as we watch 1951's The Day the Earth Stood Still. Produced by 20th Century Fox and directed by Robert Wise. I can't wait to see this one, friends. Ever since I watched Forbidden Planet and enjoyed it as much as I did, I realized that even though I was following the Rotten Tomatoes top 50 science fiction movies of all time, I really should go back to the ones that came first, and do it chronologically as well, really to see who to give credit to for later adaptations, similarities, imitations, things like that. So I wanted to go back as far as I could. Forbidden Planet was first. Now we have The Day the Earth Stood Still. We'll have The Time Machine, and we will have War of the Worlds coming up very soon too, my friends. Before we get started, if you could do me a huge favor and hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel, and it allows me to alert you next time it's time for some Sci-Friday. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. And if you're not a fan of Patreon, consider YouTube memberships. You'll get all of our episodes at least a day early. But my dear friends, all that is then and this is now, and now it's time for some classic science fiction as we watch 1951's The Day the Earth Stood Still. Prepare to engage maximum warp reaction, and away we go. That's hilarious. It's rated PG-13 plus for smoking and flashing lights. So excited for this. I am so weak across genres on my movies from the 50s and 60s that I need to really just kind of buckle down and start going through everything across genres, just to really kind of broaden my horizons here, so to speak, and make sure I'm informed on certain things. I really want to do that. And so many of you have said, oh, you have to see The Day the Earth Stood Still. A Forbidden Planet I've already seen, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. I was, to be very fair, completely shocked by The Day the Earth Stood Still, or Forbidden Planet. I mean, I was floored by its. I asked during it, I was like, is this remastered? Is this new CGI? Everyone was like, no, dude. That's what they could do. Blown away. And so I want to hear these stories, make myself informed, a pale comparison to you true sci-fi scholars out there, but give it my best shot. Here we go, friends. Let's see what they have for us.
Holy mackerel.
Look how crisp black and white is.
Holy Christmas, that thing's doing about 4,000. But that's incredible, sir.
That can't be aircraft. Must be a buzz bomb.
I have a bogey at 200,000 feet, 4000 miles an hour.
Formation jusqu'à présent laisse penser qu'il s'agit d'une fusée.
So everybody's picking up a craft then.
There actually is a large unidentified object circling the Earth at incredible speed.
This is Elmer Davis again. We still don't know what it is or where it comes from, but there's something there. It's been tracked around the Earth by radar.
Elmer says, I can't control myself. I'm so excited.
We interrupt this program to give you a bulletin just received from one of our naval units at sea.
Can you imagine if this happened?
Here in the nation's capital, there is anxiety and concern, but no outward sign of panic.
Great shots. Always so shocked at how crisp black and white is. Difficult to act normal when you look up and see that. We all think that we're desensitized to stuff like this. We've seen it on TV and movies, a potential first contact situation. But this is what would happen. Today, 2025, today, this is what would happen. People would flip out. There's no prep for that. There's no prep for the unknown. Bring it right down on the ball fields. Like the figures running, that's great. Those are 1950 Chevys. I think. Let's get everybody. Woo! That guy's brave as hell. Very confident in the tank drivers.
I want to speak to the president. I'm sorry, but you'll have to interrupt him.
Who are you?
That so far there is no reasonable cause for alarm. The rumors of invading armies and mass destruction are based on hysteria. The ship, designed for travel outside the Earth's atmosphere, landed in Washington today at 3:47 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Interesting.
Troops have been rushed across the Potomac River from Fort Myer and have thrown a cordon around the ship. They're supported by tanks, artillery, and machine guns. Every eye, every weapon is trained on the ship.
Did they do like a practical? My God, if they did, the extras. Y'all are brave, I'll tell you that. I just can't imagine this. You try to put yourself in their shoes. It doesn't matter if it's 51 or 2025. This would be bonkers. Everybody questioning their decisions to be this close. I love that helmet.
We have come to visit you in peace and with goodwill.
Oh, wait. I translated that wrong. We've come to eat you. You guys are in a tank. You're going handguns? All right. Everybody, let's not get an itchy trigger finger here. For God's sakes, dude, what did I just say? We come in peace. Well, this is how we do things in DC. Oh, they're closing up behind him. Oh, I love that. Very Cylon. You know who you should be shooting. It's the guy up in the tank. The trigger finger. There you go. I like how, like, seamless this thing is. Like, unarticulated.
Doors! Declare to Roscoe!
Thanks for shooting me. They're obviously hurt.
It was a gift for your president. With this, he could have studied life on the other planets.
We had a bit of a trigger finger issue.
Take him to Walter Reed Hospital right away.
Yes, sir.
Well, I mean, how's Walter Reed going to know how to fix him? If it's a him. I mean, sounds like, but I mean...
Now that your name is Mr. Klaatu?
Just Klaatu.
The president asked me to convey his deepest apologies for what has happened.
Sit down, Mr. Harley.
Have a seat. I won't ask again.
Have you been traveling long?
About 5 months. Your months.
You must have come a long way.
About 250 million of your miles. Let's just say that we're neighbors.
It's rather difficult for us to think of another planet as a neighbor.
I'm afraid in the present situation, you'll have to learn to think that way.
Or perhaps you'd rather discuss it personally with the president.
This is not a personal matter, Mr. Harley. It concerns all the people on your planet.
Yep, he's only going to tell this story one time.
I want to meet with representatives from all the nations of the Earth.
And there are practical considerations, the time involved, the enormous distances.
I travel 250 million miles.
The UN. I mean, right?
Our world at the moment is full of tensions and suspicions.
What about your United Nations?
You know about the United Nations?
We've been monitoring your radio broadcast for a good many years.
Interesting.
Perhaps if you could explain a little.
I intend to explain. To all the nations.
You see, and put your shit aside. You want to listen to this.
I don't want to resort to threats, Mr. Harley. I merely tell you that the future of your planet is at stake. I urge that you transmit that message to the nations of the Earth.
You're talking to somebody 250 million miles away from Earth. Probably take this seriously.
Apparently, I'm not as cynical about Earth's people as you are.
I've been dealing in Earth politics a good deal longer than you have.
All right. Well, Harley, let's see if I get results, and then you can eat your hat. Oh, great shot. Oh, great shot in transition.
Metallurgical experts have found his huge body impregnable. They're now concentrating on the ship itself, so far with no results.
We're just going to go ahead and, like, just start picking at this stuff? Dear God. Did we all see what the big boy here can do?
No luck, sir. We've tried everything from a blowtorch to a diamond drill.
What about him?
It's made out of the same stuff.
Has he moved, Sergeant?
No, sir, not an inch.
The skeletal structure is completely normal. The tests show the same for the major organs. The heart, liver, spleen, kidneys.
And the lungs are the same as ours. How old do you think he is?
Oh, I'd say 35, 38.
Told me this morning while I was examining him. He's 78.
Really?
Well, how does he explain that?
Says their medicine is that much more advanced.
I removed a bullet from that man's arm yesterday.
What about it?
I just examined the wound, and it's completely healed. Said he put some salve on it, some stuff he had with him.
What are you going to do with it?
Take it downstairs and have it analyzed.
I'm going to rub it on my bad knee.
Or just get drunk or give up the practice of medicine.
Oh, I love that. What the hell am I even doing here? I'm no doctor. This guy's got lip balm. He can heal anything.
The Premier wishes to inform the government of the United States that it'll be impossible for him to attend the meeting suggested by the President unless the meeting is held in Moscow. Representation could be sent only if the meeting were held in Washington. Well, there you have it.
Oh, that's it? We're done?
Your impatience is quite understandable.
I'm impatient with stupidity. My people have learned to live without it.
I'm afraid my people haven't.
Yeah, they have not. What a profile that guy has. Holy smokes.
Oh, I must ask that you don't attempt to leave the hospital. Our military people have insisted on this. I'm sure you'll understand.
I'm a prisoner? Okay. This is not working out in your benefit. Full disclosure, if I had been able to talk to my guy here, I would have said, land anywhere but DC. Anywhere. There'll be committees and paperwork and legislation and subcommittees. Well, he never said he was from Mars, did he? He said he was from a neighboring planet. I guess they assume it's Mars.
Walter Reed Hospital refused to comment on how he managed to escape or what measures may be taken to apprehend.
The creatures are denounced as rumor by Police Chief Walter Baxter.
Has anyone seen his face? Because he had the helmet on whenever he was in front of the cameras.
The President has urged all citizens to be on the alert for any information about this man and to transmit such information immediately to the police, the Army, or the FBI. While the President made no effort to minimize the crisis, he urged people all over the country to remain calm. And I might add that though this man may be our bitter enemy, he could be also a newfound friend.
The contradictions here.
That this is no ordinary manhunt. He warned, we may be up against powers that are beyond our control.
Yeah, the volume went out after they turned it off. I love it.
I'm looking for a room.
Oh, I see.
Are you an FBI man?
No, I'm afraid not.
I have a very nice room on the second floor. It has 2 large windows and gets the sun all day long.
Hey, mister, can I help you look for the spaceman? I know just what he looks like. He's got a big square head with 3 great big eyes.
That's enough, Bobby.
Bobby, you had one chance, buddy. Immortality is right there.
You're a long way from home, aren't you, Mr. Carpenter?
How did you know?
Oh, I can tell a New England accent a mile away.
This guy's doing a great job.
This creature, where is he? What is he up to? If he can build a spaceship that can fly to Earth...
My man can't stop eating and drinking and smoking. Dear God.
Obviously, the monster must be found. He must be tracked down like a wild animal. He must be destroyed.
This tells you all you need to know about us, buddy. I hate to say it.
Everybody agrees. There is grave danger.
Maybe, yeah, the intellectual route. Scientific and artistic leaders instead of actual political leaders.
Of course, but how?
That's what's her name. Andy Griffith, right?
What can they do? They're only people, just like us.
People my foot. They're Democrats.
That's enough to give you the shakes.
Why doesn't he come out in the open?
Yeah, like that heater fellow says. What's he up to?
Maybe he's afraid.
He's afraid.
Well, after all, he was shot the minute he landed here.
Yeah.
Stands to reason that fellow wants something, otherwise he wouldn't be here. That right, Mr. Carpenter?
I must admit I'm a little confused.
Oh, Mrs. Benson, Mr. Stevens is here to see you.
No, thank you.
A gentleman caller.
There's only one thing. I haven't anyone to stay with Bobby. I don't suppose we could take him with us.
Well,
that doesn't sound fun at all.
I'd be happy to spend the day with him, if you'd let me. Say, that would be great.
We'll just give my son to this stranger.
Bobby and I had a fine time yesterday afternoon. We talked and listened to the radio. I thought today you might like to show me around the city.
You think it's all right?
Sure.
This guy's definitely on the up and up. Actually, Bobby might be the best person to take him around because he'll get pure honesty. Oh.
That's my father. He was killed at Anzio.
Did all those people die in wars?
Most of them. Didn't you ever hear of the Arlington Cemetery?
No, I'm afraid not.
You don't seem to know much about anything, do you, Mr. Carpenter?
Well, they have cemeteries, but not like this one. You see, they don't have any wars.
Gee, that's a good idea.
That's a good idea.
I've got $2. Mom gave it to me.
No, I want to take you to the movie. Do you think they'd accept these?
Gee, they look like diamonds.
Yeah, they are.
Let's not say anything to Mom about this, though, huh?
Let's keep this between us.
Well, she doesn't like me to steal from people.
It's something that I've been told not to do. Therefore, I have done it numerous times. Bobby, you might have been the perfect person to do this.
Those are great words.
The best.
Bobby, who's the greatest man in America today?
Well, I don't know. Spaceman, I guess. Well, you mean the smartest man in the whole world?
Yes, that would do nicely.
Professor Barnhart, I guess. He's the greatest scientist in the whole world.
He lives right here in Washington, doesn't he?
Now can we go see the spaceship?
If you like.
Well, they're going to be waiting for you there, buddy. So.
I bet that iron guy's strong. I bet he can knock down a whole building.
I shouldn't be at all surprised.
What do you think makes it go?
Well, a highly developed form of atomic power, I should imagine.
I thought that was only for bombs.
Just a little guess.
About 1,000 miles an hour?
Maybe 4,000 miles an hour. And outside the Earth's atmosphere, a good deal faster.
Just a guess again.
Keep going, mister. He was falling for it.
Yeah, Bobby, you are the perfect person to do this.
I am fearful when I see people substituting fear for reason. In fact, I would like...
Thank you, Mr. Carpenter. Thank you very much.
That's certainly not as hyperbolic as we need.
What does inertia mean?
Inertia is the property of matter by which it remains in uniform motion unless acted upon by external force.
Oh. I bet that's just the way Professor Barnhart talks.
Let's go and see Professor Barnhart and find out how he talks.
You're kidding, aren't you? I like you, Mr. Carpenter. You're a real screwball.
Thanks, Bobby. No pressure, but the answers that you give could condemn or save the Earth. So let's have a good afternoon.
Maybe he isn't home.
I mean, they said he works. I mean, we're in the middle of the day, it looks like, right? You might be in the right place. Maybe not.
What's that stuff on the blackboard mean?
It's a problem in celestial mechanics.
I bet he's the only one in the world that knows the answer.
Well.
Hey, where you going?
If he's that difficult to see, perhaps we ought to leave a calling card.
Bobby's like, well, you're an adult, so fine. Let me Goodwill Hunting this shit real quick.
What are you doing in here?
We're not being nosy. You? Tell him I'm the one that solved that.
I wouldn't erase that. The professor needs it very badly.
The adults in this movie may be the problem. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that we have not come off on the right foot.
Your name, Carpenter?
Yes? Oh, I suppose Professor Barnhart's been looking for me.
I've been looking for you all afternoon.
And who are you?
The boss is leaving for Chicago tomorrow. If I could tell him that I was getting married and had 2 dependents.
You're a good salesman. But I've got to think about it.
A good insurance salesman wouldn't give you time to think about it.
Good thing I'm terrible.
Mrs. Benson, this is Mr. Brady.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Mr. Brady's a government agent.
Is he?
I don't know how to thank you.
I enjoyed every minute of it.
We, better get going, Mr. Carpenter.
We saw the spaceship, and we went to see Professor Barnhart.
Professor Barnhart?
Yeah, sure. Mom, do I have to go to school tomorrow?
You wrote this?
It was a clumsy way to introduce myself. But I understand you're a difficult man to see.
How can you be so sure? Have you tested this theory?
I find it works well enough to get me from one planet to another.
Boom.
If you're not interested, or if you intend to turn me over to your army, we needn't waste any more time.
Come on, Professor. We need some good adult representation here.
Sit down, please. There are several thousand questions I'd like to ask you.
I would like to explain something of my mission here.
That was my first question.
Awesome.
Your planet has discovered a rudimentary kind of atomic energy. We also know that you're experimenting with rockets.
Yes, that is true.
So long as you were limited to fighting among yourselves with your primitive tanks and aircraft, we were unconcerned.
Oh.
I'm prepared, however, to offer a solution.
Would you care to be more specific?
What I have to say must be said to all concerned. It is too important to be entrusted to any individual.
This is like a prime directive for aggression. As soon as they get, not warp travel, atomic. Interesting.
Must I take drastic action in order to get a hearing?
What sort of action do you mean?
Violent action, since that seems to be the only thing your people understand.
Yeah.
Leveling New York City, perhaps? Or sinking the Rock of Gibraltar?
To be very honest, it would take something like that.
We scientists are too often ignored or misunderstood. We must get leaders from every field, the finest minds in the world.
I leave that in your hands.
I was going to say, that's a great idea.
Suppose this group should reject your proposals. What is the alternative?
I'm afraid there is no alternative. In such a case, the planet Earth would have to be eliminated.
Dealt with, yeah.
You mentioned a demonstration of force.
Yes.
Would such a demonstration be possible before the meeting?
Yes, of course.
Something that would dramatize for them and for their people the seriousness of the situation.
Yeah, but
I wouldn't want you to harm anybody or destroy anything.
Why don't you leave it to me? I'll think of something.
Scared people will tell you anything that they think will make you not hurt them.
Police and the FBI are tracing every possible clue and rounding up all possible suspects.
Rummy?
This is the...
Rummy?
Oh, Mr. Carpenter.
I was distracted and ran into you, but I thought I'd make that exclamation, make it look like your fault.
He's a fine boy, Mrs. Benson.
Naturally, I think so.
Warm, friendly, intelligent.
A good example.
Bobby and I tried to see Professor Barnhart in the afternoon, and he wasn't in. Apparently, they thought I was looking for secrets of some kind.
I could be phrased easier. I mean, they thought I was looking for state secrets, or I was a spy or a traitor of some kind. Crazy.
I'm sorry. I guess I'm just tired of hearing about Mr. Carpenter. I don't like the way he's attached himself to you and Bobby. After all, what do you know about him?
Tom, jealousy is a terrible thing.
Go to bed now, darling. You can finish that in the morning.
Okay.
I just started 30 seconds ago, but sure.
I think it would be better if we didn't see quite so much of Mr. Carpenter.
Gee, why, Mom? He's my best friend, and he's awful good in arithmetic. He even helps Professor Barnhart.
Well, see, Bobby's immediately going to gravitate towards him because he doesn't treat him like a kid. Oh, my man. Get that Lionel train set out.
I must tell you sometime about another kind of train. Kind that doesn't need any tracks.
Really?
Really. Remind me in the morning, I'll tell you all about them.
Okay.
You know, Bobby's a great example for numerous reasons because before the cynicism of adulthood sets in, the human race could definitely be proven to be somebody that could be a good neighbor, But leadership right now is not going to, they're going to continue to act this way. Well, we know he can be shot, so I'm assuming he can be killed too. No amount of lip balm is going to bring back a forehead wound, I'm guessing. Yeah, man, they're building up. They're building up a wall around this thing. Pretty soon, you're not even going to have visible access to it. What do you got, big man? This guy's dope as hell. The thing is, they don't have any lights on this thing. Nobody like watching it constantly. This, you know, automaton comes alive. I'm assuming it's an automaton. I can't imagine somebody's in there, but the lack of seams and articulate points, I think, make it look. That's an interesting way for the costumer to get away from looking like a costume. And was that a lethal attack?
Gort, Ferenga.
Gort Ferenga. This is a very good movie. Very, very glad I watched this. That you all recommended it that I watch this, I should say. Because my dumb ass is never going to watch it independently. Here we go. Awesome. Just the lights that he passed in front of turned off.
Imre Klaatu Narawat. Macro Pluval Barata Luftenso Empiclet.
What if he's sending a message? Transmission, communique, tight beam comm channel.
Well, after you left, I followed Mr. Carpenter. And where do you think he went? Right into the spaceship.
Now, Bobby, wait a minute. Bobby, you've been dreaming again.
No, I haven't, Mom. Honest, I promise you I saw him.
Look how I'm dressed.
You didn't follow Mr. Carpenter at all, did you? You haven't even been out of the house.
Yes, I have.
Now, you didn't really see a spaceship, but you thought you did.
I'd never call you a liar.
I like that. Kid knows when he's being called a liar. I'm pooping. Tom's like, I'll just put this in the old pocket.
I think the guy's a crook. I never did trust him.
Gee, Mom, you think maybe he's a diamond smuggler?
Come on, darling. You're going up to bed now.
I wonder if we ought to call
Bobby and I have had enough excitement for tonight.
If he was a crook, why would he be giving the kid diamonds?
I saw Bobby this morning before he went to school.
Yes?
I'd like to know what he told you last night.
I really didn't pay much attention. Bobby has such an active imagination.
Did you believe what he told you?
I didn't, until the diamonds.
Just 12.
We shall be here for a little while. About 30 minutes.
This is the demonstration.
You see, the electricity's been neutralized. All over the world.
Bobby was telling the truth, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Now, to me, this is way more terrifying than, look at that. This is way more terrifying than sinking the Rock of Gibraltar or blowing up New York. Turning off the planet. Yeah.
It's a spaceman. That's what it is.
Do we have like planes falling out of the air? Submarines sinking to the bottom of the ocean? Gotta go the old-fashioned way. No!
See it, Professor Barnhart. You should go out and see it for yourself.
Thanks. I am enjoying it right here.
The whole city has stopped. People are running around like ants.
You don't say.
What about the people who are coming to the meeting tonight? Have they all arrived?
Yes, here's the list. And I talked to most of them on the phone this morning. They're all very curious about the meeting.
Good. Does all this frighten you? Does it make you feel insecure?
Yes, sir, it certainly does.
Mission accomplished.
As far as we can tell, all power's been cut off everywhere, with a few exceptions. And even these exceptions are remarkable. Hospitals, planes in flight, that sort of thing.
Look at that! They thought about that shit. Love it.
Gentlemen, I can tell you the president is prepared to declare a state of national emergency.
Oh, mutter, mutter, mutter. Mumble, mumble, mumble.
But there are no diamonds like this any place in the world that I know of.
Are you sure of that?
Is it like pure or?
I've already told you more than I told Professor Barnhart because, in a sense, my life is in your hands. If this meeting should fail, then I'm afraid there is no hope. It must be 12:30.
Didn't even flinch. Oh, great reaction.
I can keep an eye on Bobby. He's the only other person who knows anything about what
No, wait a minute. There's someone else.
Who?
Tom. He was there last night when Bobby told me what he saw.
Do you think he'd tell anyone?
Everybody.
He wouldn't tell me where he was going. Said it was something personal.
Well, please ask him to call me the minute he gets in.
Yeah, Tom's going to be the spanner in the works here.
When it was discovered last night that the robot had moved, I was directed by the Joint Chiefs to find a means of immobilizing him. We accomplished that this morning by encasing him in a block of KL-93. It's a new plastic material stronger than steel. He's locked up tight as a drum.
All right. That means we concentrate on the man. We can no longer afford to be so particular. We'll get him. Alive if possible.
Oh, you know, I think the thing about this is what would happen.
Find out who's in charge of this spaceman business. Whoever it is, I want to talk to him.
Mrs. Benson's been trying to get you all afternoon. She says it's important.
Get this other call first.
I like how you just call the Pentagon. Get me the Pentagon.
But you've got to promise me you won't say a word to anybody.
Are you crazy after what happened today?
But you don't understand. You don't realize how important this is.
Important? Of course it's important. The point is we can do something about it.
What? We're going to fight him?
He told me why he came here.
He told you? Oh, don't be silly, honey, just because you like the guy.
Jesus, Tom.
Oh, all right, I'll hold on.
Tom, you mustn't. You don't know what you're doing. It isn't just you and Mr. Carpenter. The rest of the world is involved.
I don't care about the rest of the world.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding, buddy.
You'll feel different when you see my picture in the papers.
I feel different right now.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to speak to his aide. I want to speak to the general. Tell him it's about the spaceman.
You'd think they'd have a hotline established for the spaceman. You know, call here with spaceman tips. No. Tom goes directly to the Pentagon and a general.
Thank you very much, Mr. Stevens. I want to talk to you further, but I haven't time now. Deploy all Zone 5 units according to Plan B, immediately.
We're going to F around and get our planet destroyed. We are going to F around and get our planet destroyed. I love black and white so much. Oh my God. It lends something. I mean, you couldn't watch it all the time. I understand that. But boy, certain movies, certain genres, really, right? Incredible stuff.
Attention all units. Attention all units. When deployed according to Plan Baker, maintain station and remain on radio alert until further orders.
Boy, a lot of moving parts. Big budget in this one. Ooh, did you guys see that? The lead Jeep cut in front of the second one and there was almost a wreck. Johnny on the spot, that second driver.
Yeah, they got in a taxi cab and went off down that street.
Thank you, son.
Damn it, Sammy. Wasn't that the kid's name?
Yellow cab moving north on 14th Street from Harvard Street. A man and woman in back seat. Get license number and report. That's the one.
It's interesting. I like that.
Hey, looks like something big's going on.
Looks like they're all going in the same direction we are. Yeah, they got us. They're not even gonna let you get to this meeting, dude.
I'm worried about Gort. I'm afraid of what he might do if anything should happen to me.
Gort, but he's a robot. Without you, what could he do?
Gort is the robot.
He could destroy the Earth. If anything should happen to me, you must go to Gort. You must say these words. Klaatu, Barada, Nikto. Please repeat that.
The target vehicle is turning west into Massachusetts Avenue.
Block off all streets intersecting Connecticut Avenue on a line from Wisconsin to the park. All vehicles close in.
Oh boy. Humanity, everybody. We can't get out of our own way. A couple of these drivers need some clutch work. Damn. Yeah, they're not letting you get there, dude. They're gonna gun him down. They're gonna gun him down. Son of a bitch.
Get that message to Gort. Right away.
Oh, they're not gonna let her go anywhere, dude. They are not gonna let her go anywhere. Or maybe they will. Oh, yeah, he's going right through this shit. I hope you guys like music, because Gort's about ready to start spinning the hits. And I don't think he's going to be shooting at just weapons anymore. Yeah, up here we go. Yeah, we'll see you on the flip. God, watch him kill her. Oh my God. They got 2 guys watching this? 2 guys? It's a Klaatu, Barada, Niktu. Sounds like the Necronomicon. I mean, I've got it on my shirt, but I don't know how to pronounce it. Dear God, be careful. Great music cue. Say it. Say it. We're asking a lot here, but
Good. Klaatu, Barada, Nikto. Klaatu, Barada, Nikto.
so what was the command? Don't kill the Earth? Maybe get her and Bobby to safety, because the Earth ain't gonna make it? You know, I'm going to tell you this. Gort shouldn't be as cool as he is. I find him incredibly terrifying. I was not expecting this at all. I thought, to be very honest, I thought this was some type of like alien invasion. I mean, I guess essentially it is, but I wasn't expecting this like philosophical judging of humanity type of thing that we're getting here. He's gonna go get Bobby. Yep, and then we are on and popping. T-minus whatever for the destruction of the big blue ball.
Yes, sir. Yes, we have the body here now, locked in a cell.
The body.
Bring in a squad of men, Lieutenant. Place a guard around that cell. Yes, sir. Captain, don't let anyone in or out of the building.
Yes, sir.
Come along.
Oh my God. I mean, I guess we'll get our question answered here pretty soon. You know, can they be brought back? I mean, he's obviously doing something to heal him up. This is the professor and his learned companions.
I'm very sorry, but I have to ask you to call off this meeting.
Call it off? But I had permission from the Army.
I know you did, sir. But the robot's on the loose now, and it's not safe around here.
I don't know, this determines whether he can come back or like the extent of the damage. Ooh, damn. Holy shit, is that loud? Damn, was that loud? I'm assuming he's him too, right? I mean, just brought back, not rebooting from like a previous save.
I thought you were...
I was.
He has the power of life and death?
No.
The ship.
This technique, in some cases, can restore life for a limited period.
But how long?
Limited period.
Under the circumstances, the Army people have asked us to leave. And since their concern is for our safety, I can do nothing but suggest that we comply.
I like how there has been like everyone's concerned about the danger and there's a literally an audience. Oh, he's back in his duds. I think he's taking it on down the road.
The universe grows smaller every day, and the threat of aggression by any group, anywhere, can no longer be tolerated. We of the other planets have long accepted this principle. We have an organization for the mutual protection of all planets and for the complete elimination of aggression. For our policemen, we created a race of robots. Their function is to patrol the planets in spaceships like this one and preserve the peace. In matters of aggression, we have given them absolute power over us. This power cannot be revoked. At the first sign of violence, they act automatically against the aggressor. The penalty for provoking their action is too terrible to risk. We live in peace, without arms or armies, secure in the knowledge that we are free from aggression and war. We do not pretend to have achieved perfection, but we do have a system, and it works. It is no concern of ours how you run your own planet. But if you threaten to extend your violence, this Earth of yours will be reduced to a burned-out cinder. Join us and live in peace, or pursue your present course and face obliteration. We shall be waiting for your answer. The decision rests with you.
We will 100% F this up. So smooth. That is not a minimum safe distance. Is that it? Oh, nice. Nice. All right, everybody, we just finished watching 1951's The Day the Earth Stood Still, and the only thing left to do is talk about it. All right, everybody, we just finished watching 1951's The Day the Earth Stood Still, brought to us by 20th Century Fox. Oh boy, I thought this was great. It was a surprising type of introspection, way more of a discussion or a debate on the survivability of humanity is what is called into question here. And I think that it was done to great effect, but, especially, given the time period. Tensions were high. You had the Red Threat, or basically, East versus West, the beginnings of the Soviet Union versus the U.S. as far as superpowers go, and, regional conflicts and stuff. We had a bit of a reprieve, I think, after World War II, but not too long, Korean conflict and all that. But I'll tell you this, I think that what it did basically was, and the story of this is timeless. I mean, I was trying to think when I was watching this, at what point could they have come to Earth where they would have been like, all right, yeah, it looks like these humans have got their shit together. Never. We are constantly getting in our own way. And honestly, I made the comparison whenever we were watching 1951 or 2025. If they landed today, the exact same thing happens. In fact, I think it is probably, we would have more of like a hyperbolic response. We would have more of an aggressive response. I don't think that there would be any like overture for diplomacy or anything like that, to the point where even if, I would still think that if you went like the intellectual route, like they went to the professor, you would have people of that field that would be interested in what you had to say, simply because it would be applications to questions like problems and things that we had never been able to solve, or you would be introduced to new technologies and new ways of thought, new knowledge, new math, new all that stuff. And I think it would be, and again, I don't want to say use greed in that, but it would definitely be those things that we could gain that would cause specific groups to be accepting of hearing what he had to say, or anything like that. Because in this response, here's the question that I have. In his Klaatu's basically summation at the end, and said that Gort and people like Gort acted as, or I guess other robots like Gort, acted as the police officers for their federation or their galaxy or whatever it would happen to be. And it was up to them, essentially, that if they saw any acts of aggression, that they would levy punishment. it's interesting that that was, and basically he said, there's nothing we can really do about that. We follow the, it's a power we can't take back, I think is what he said. They have the power of determination of who exists and who doesn't because of this aggressive pact that they kind of, I guess, programmed into them. And he said, and that's a power that we can't, it's irrevocable. We can't take it back at any point. If that's the case, then I guess that command phrase wasn't necessarily a command phrase. Klaatu, it's on my shirt, but Klaatu, Barada, Niktu. Maybe that was more of a let me cook type of thing. I think I've got this handled to a point. Give me 5 more minutes or something like that. Buy me a little bit more time. I think that, I don't think he could say, don't destroy the earth other than I'm working on something or come and get me, or I don't know. I would love to know what that command or that whatever it was that she was supposed to say, what that actually did, because I thought it was a command for don't destroy the planet. I didn't understand at that point because, like I said, the summation is what revealed it, is that Gort is under no obligation to listen to Klaatu. Gort's power is irrevocable. If he made the decision to wipe out the earth, no one could stop it at that point, which begs the question to me, I think we were left on a bit of a thinking or philosophical cliffhanger here. The warning was given that, if you behave in an aggressive manner, if you try to, if you want to keep everything on planet, that's cool. As soon as you start to reach for the stars with the same level of aggression that you have here, dirt side, you're done. And with that in mind, I don't think there is any way that humanity could have existed longer than spaceflight. As soon as we went up into, in 69, whenever the initial overture into space, satellites, manned space flight, as soon as that happened, I think Gort would be flying right back to rip shit through the world. Because we have never, and that it's the sad part about this, because I'm watching and I'm thinking, we as a species, we have such promise. We have the ability to become a federation like we see in Star Trek and Gene Roddenberry's vision of the future. We have the ability to do that, to be this kind of this pristine, this perfect society that kind of culminates in the exploration of space and the sciences and the arts. We do away with money, that perfect ideal society, at least for as the way we define it here on Earth. But we also have that dystopian, cyberpunk, route that we normally go, where it's just the degradation of society. Ultimately, you have populations where the 1%, I mean, it's where we are right now. We are way closer to a dystopian society than we are the dreams of a federation that could potentially join Gort and Klaatu up in the heavens for whatever kind of group they have going on up there. So, like I said, it's almost like at what point, so far in our history, 2025, at what point could the two of those guys have landed and saw something that they were able to nod and say, no, they've got potential here. They've got a chance. They've got a puncher's chance to make it. We don't. And I mean, that is, I think, the most depressing part about this movie, that even with a warning like that, even with Klaatu coming forward and saying, hey, shape up or we will ship you out of existence, it's never going to work. It's never going to work. You see, basically the entire world represented in the audience. And we know it as observers, as watchers, as audience members and members of the planet Earth. We know that we can't get our shit together enough for this to actually work. And, again, you could say, oh, well, maybe this country could, but that country wouldn't, or that country wouldn't and this country could. The planet, at some point, some link in the chain is going to cause us to get obliterated by Gort or another one of the cops or a bunch of them showing up. Oh my gosh. And it was so well done in that this was an exploration into, it was a judgment on humanity. Should they exist? The military, politicians, they were completely, they couldn't even make any headway. What was his name? Harley couldn't even make any headway. The generals and everybody, they were only interested in one thing. And that was basically making sure that this was under wraps, or we had a boot to the throat, so to speak, of the problem here to make sure that it wasn't going anywhere and nobody was going to, they had orders of suppression as opposed to, peaceful negotiation. I mean, Bobby put a good foot forward for us to basically tell Klaatu that there's hope in the young. If you can get to us early enough, you might be able to affect change. The problem is we, humanity, we eventually get older, we get cynical, and we get set in our ways, whether it be, political or nationalistic or aggression just for aggression's sake. It's a really poor outlook, and it's a really poor showing for us, because even in that heightened situation of the 50s or late 40s or whenever they technically wanted this to be, it hasn't gotten any better. It's not like we've improved or made leaps and bounds in our structure as human beings in our society. If anything, we are right where we were. And if Klaatu and Gort came back, they'd look around and say, they have made zero progress. Put the flares up. It's time to just wipe this place out. And I honest to God, I think that that's what would happen if they came back, or again, as soon as we extend it into the stars or go for a moonshot or something like that, I think old Gort's coming back. Regardless, I am so glad to have seen this. I was way different than what I expected. I did not I expected like an invasion, with people everywhere and the earth kind of, I don't know. I just thought it was going to be more of that type of thing. And I think it lends itself to the fear of that. But the fear is never realized. The fear only exists in us. And that, friends, is why humanity is going to fail this test each and every time. If you could do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel, and it allows me to alert you next time it's time for some Sci-Friday or any of our other sci-fi fare. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. And if you're not a fan of Patreon, consider YouTube memberships. You'll get all of our episodes at least a day early. But all that was then, and this is now, my friends. And now, unfortunately, it's time to say goodbye from the day the Earth stood still. And as a reward for being the Greek course, a vitally important part of the narrative, we listen to what the storytellers have to say. We talk about it to people that haven't seen it before in the hopes of growing the audience and spreading the story even farther. And because of that, my friends, we are rewarded for our efforts by being able to go back into the story that we just witnessed and saying goodbye from a favorite scene. So, friends, I thought that I would give us a little bit of hope, and that we are going to walk around with Bobby and Klaatu as they walk around D.C. to the Lincoln Memorial, to Arlington Cemetery, and maybe, just maybe, as a species, we can put our best foot forward. Friends, until the next time we dive into some classic sci-fi, Vulcan roll, and I'll see you.